Hi, welcome to Christine's Corner. My special guest here is Jared. Welcome. Hi, Jared.
Hi, Christine.
So you're a chainsaw carver.
Chainsaw carver, correct.
How long you've been doing this?
About 8 years.
8 years. What got you interested in doing this?
I saw a TV show and felt I could do it in my stomach, and got an extra chainsaw in my backyard and a log, and I just tried it and got hooked.
Well, you got hooked well because you do this carving that we see here. Part of it is really good. It's going to be a moose, right?
Correct. Yes. Yep.
How long you been working on this?
On this one, a few hours. I never do one carving completely. I always poke at a bunch of them just so I don't lose my drive.
So you have part of the. I see part of the moose.
Yes. This will be one of the rakes that will go on the head of the moose, and then I have the other one in my garage that I'll be bringing out here later to work on under this carport.
So there's two of them.
Correct, one for each side of the head, and then this particular moose will be holding a welcome sign.
Oh, I see. So are you doing the welcome sign too?
Yes, I do that one. I do that one last so I can customize it to the carving itself.
What got you interested in doing carving?
I saw a TV show and just felt in my stomach I could do it, and went out back and got my chainsaw and started.
You had no prior art history?
No, I have no artistic background. I can't draw and I can't paint. But when I look at a log or something, I can see the carving inside. It's just the removal of all the extra stuff to get to the object I want to reveal.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? I when I look at the wood, I see wood. So that's quite a talent you have. Yeah. No training, no carving experience?
No, I was raised very competitively, so I want to be the best carver that I can be for me and for my customers. So I study videos of professional carvers all over the world. I read books. I practice and practice and practice. I go to Log Dogs in Cheshire, and they provide me with logs and allow me to just practice and do as many as I can. And Eric's Tree Service up in Marlborough, or Woodstock. They provided me with a bunch of logs too, way back when I first started, and just let me practice and practice and practice, and no judgment. Just let me just keep working on my craft. Wow,
that's good. So they sponsor you?
They don't sponsor me. Actually, Superior Products in Milldale, Superior Equipment and Supplies in Milldale, sponsor me with the chainsaws, and have been a huge supporter of me. And as an independent small business owner, you can only get so far on your own before people have to help you, and and people keep encouraging me and motivating me, and it's just nice to have so many just nice people out there just willing to help. I do hope to compete someday, and hopefully with the support of everybody, I can go and represent everybody and do well.
You're far on your way already. I mean, these are really excellent carvings. I've seen your other carvings, like in Bristol, the Memorial Boulevard. What animals were there?
There's an eagle at top, a raccoon, a squirrel, a bear that has a cardinal on its paw, and then a deer at the bottom. And all those carvings they're all structural. The deer itself is an anchoring animal, because there's so much weight with the tree. You needed a way to have the tree be anchored to the other half of the tree. And all my animals are tapered, even though you don't notice it. So no water sits on them. We are in New England. So even though something looks flat, it's not really flat. Every thought of making sure my artwork can last as long as I can goes into every carving I do.
It's excellent work, and you paint it too.
Yes, I'm definitely no painter, but hopefully I'll be getting an airbrush system soon and can study some videos on how to do that a little, because right now everything is spray paint and hand painting.
Just excellent colors that you put together. What kind of paint you said?
I use Rust-Oleum paint, so I feel if it's good enough for cars and metal and stuff like that, it's a very strong finish. So that's what I use on the carvings. It'll work great on the wood itself.
So that's good for the rain and the snow as we're getting today.
Yes, I also seal them. So once everything's dry, then I put a sealer over everything, so it'll be waterproof. And as long as the owner of the carving stays up with the maintenance of sealing it 2 to 3 times a year, the carvings will last a very long time.
So you give instructions on how to maintain.
Correct. They get pictures of the exact paint I use, the exact sealer I use. If they have any problems with it, they just message me a picture of the problem, and I walk them through repairing it, because it is organic, so it's going to crack and swell and expand and shrink and stuff. So if they don't want to try to repair it themselves, then they can ask me, and I'll go over and for a nominal fee, I can fix the carving and then retexture it, repaint it, and then reseal it for them. So kind of a maintenance, so the artwork can last a very long time.
Well, you do amazing work. So do you do this as a living, or do you do this on the side?
No, I'm a teacher full time, so this is just a hobby to pay off student loans and spoil my daughter.
Oh, you have a daughter too.
Yes, Ava, my 4-year-old daughter.
Oh, how cute! 4 years old. How she loves your carving. Would she understand?
She helps me seal them, and it's a spray sealer, so we stay far back, and she likes to name all the carvings, and she just doesn't mind getting dirty. A little country girl that loves mess and and isn't scared by what I do, and is interested and loves being outside, and I love being outside, so it's nice to do something together.
So when you start carving, these can take an hour to 2 hours. Is that correct?
The smaller ones can take 1 to 2 hours. The moose here will be, could be 6 hours to do. But again, I poke at it, because for me to do one carving for 6 hours, you kind of lose your drive. So if you can do it in steps and stages, you break it down where you carve it with a chainsaw, then you bring it here, and then you let it sit, and then you do all the sanding of it, and then you let it sit, and you walk away, and then you come back and you do the antlers, the rack here for both sides, and then you can attach it, and you walk away, and then you come back and you paint it. And it's just one of the perks of not doing it full time and having to need the money or anything like that. It's just nice it allows you to really put your passion into it and really do a good job for somebody instead of rushing it.
Yeah, I could tell the detail. So you, after you're done with the chainsaw, you use wood carving tools. Correct. To get the details? Correct.
Dremels and sanders and all that. Try to get as detailed as I can.
Yeah, I can't stop saying it's amazing work that you do. How many would you say you've done?
I don't even know, to be honest. I've done so many, but because I poke at them, you just kind of lose track. I don't know, but it has to be over 100 total carvings at this point. I mean, over 8 years, it adds up pretty quick.
Yeah, that's hard to figure out.
Yeah,
that's hard to figure out for 8 years.
Right.
The ornament that you made for me from last time when I videoed you actually carving, so you get to see him carving with an actual chainsaw. The ornament was very cute. I loved it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Trying to just do different things that people haven't seen, and for stuff like that, I use no Special carving tools is just a utility knife you can get at the hardware store, and an X-Acto knife, and a dowel rod you can get at Home Depot. And what's nice with a dowel rod is you can cut it into different sections, and then you could try. If you don't like it, you can recycle it or burn it and try again, and just keep practicing, and that's what will make a good carver stand out. Is even though I'm not doing it with a chainsaw, I'm still making little bears and working on my form and my pattern, and trying to make it so when I do the chainsaw work, it's already set up in my head, and I practice all years doing it.
Do you go by picture, or just in your head? I know you said you just look at it and you can see it.
The little dogs I do, the replica dogs for customers, those I need the pictures. But for bears at this point, I've done so many that it's all in my head. And yeah. Sometimes when I have like the different carvings, if they go on my Facebook page and they see bears standing with their arms folded or something like that, a lot of that time it's Ava, my daughter, is my model. I'll have her stand with her arms crossed in front of me, and then I remember how the arms should look and where the elbows are, and then I go and I do it with a little bear, and so she helps out in more ways than just helping me clean up the sawdust and making a mess. So she just plays a big part.
That's good that you got her involved. Maybe she'll be side by side incorporated, or yeah, that sounds good. Maybe she'll help you paint it too. Yeah.
It's all right. It's only wood, so if she makes a mistake, we can always. It's only wood, so if she paints something wrong, it's you can always paint over it. And if it gets too messy, then I just go to the log yard and I do another one. So I never want her to feel like she's messed something up, and and anything that can hold her back, I want her always to try, and not be afraid to try and mess up. That's just how I want her to be.
You're a good dad. So thank you very much for showing us your moose here that's in progress.
Yes.
So you're gonna.
Yep. Over here, I gotta just adjust it and work on the angle, and then put the other one on the other side, and then I paint it and bring it to life.
How do you glue this together? I mean, to stay. Is it wood glue or?
A dowel rod will go into the head, into this, and then I Gorilla Glue it, and I use a galvanized screw, an exterior screw from behind, and we'll screw it to the head too. But the Gorilla Glue is incredibly strong, and with the dowel rod going into both of them, it won't go anywhere.
Oh, that's very interesting. I always wondered how you capture them together.
Yep. Practice. Just practice.
Practice. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. And thank you for watching Christine's Corner. See you next week.